Welcome to my playthrough and tutorial for Ninja Spirit for the Grafx 16. This is going to be a quick one today. This game's really not difficult, especially on PC Engine mode. Now the arcade version is a lot denser and more aggressive, and you die in one hit from what I remember. In this version you can take multiple hits. There's also an arcade mode you can switch to, which kills you in one hit as well, but I still don't think it's probably going to be as dense and as aggressive as the arcade version, because there's limitations to the hardware. But yeah, I'll try to break down what I did. I watched the Ripper 999. That's the Ripper, R-I-P-P-E-R 999. I watched his channel for the speedrun. He's a good friend of mine, and he blazed through this game, did a very fast speedrun. I beat this game many years ago when it was, maybe in the 90s when I actually had the system. The system was probably dead by then, but that's when I beat the game. So I probably haven't beaten it in a long time. It took me about 19 minutes to beat picking it up again after watching the video, the Ripper video. So I'd recommend checking that out. I also used rapid fire to really throw out weapons fast. So the bomb is the most powerful weapon, and it really just fucking destroys bosses. And if you have that with the power-ups that make you throw out more bombs faster and the clones, you'll kill bosses super fucking fast. So you'll see me doing that. And, a lot of times I'm able to just jump and blaze through this game, just, reacting, and it's really not that difficult. It's a pretty short game, too, so. But I love this game. This is one of my favorite games on the system. But if you really enjoy this game, play it on a MAME emulator and work on that version. If you really want, more of a challenge, or try the arcade mode in this game for the one-hit deaths. That'll definitely make it more challenging. But you can still pull a lot of the same kind of bullshit, I'm guessing, with killing the bosses super fast. The arcade one was much, much harder to exploit. I used rapid fire in the arcade version, and that was very tough, no matter what I did. The disgusting part at the end of this game, the game is awesome except for one shitty part, because when you're falling down from a jump, you fall very... you turn very slowly. If you want to move in a direction while you're falling, it's very unresponsive, very slow. The problem with that is that you'll see at the end there's a pit where you fall with ninjas, and you pretty much either have to memorize it or get very lucky, because there's really no way to react to it when you see it. You don't have enough time to turn by the time the ninja appears on screen, because the controls are so slow. It's a really shitty part. I suspect it was done for the arcade version, because this is a port of the arcade version, to get as much money as possible, because most people get to the end of the game, they want to finish off the game, they don't want to quit, so it probably was to try to suck in some money. And it didn't port over well to this version either. I think it's a lot easier on this version, because there seems to be a safe spot in this version, which I will show. The Ripper showed it to me after checking a video. But yeah, I do utilize that. I don't know if I knew about it many years back when I beat the game, because there was pretty much no internet back then. So, if I did, I would have had to figure it out myself, I think. But yeah, being positioned here with these bombs and these clones, the boss is instantly dead pretty much, just like the first boss. You can change your weapons by pressing the select button. I'm playing on a Sega Saturn controller through an emulator, so I use the left and right bumper buttons just to switch out the weapons. Or the left bumper, actually. But yeah, close enough. And that works great. But you're probably mostly going to be using the bombs anyway. There's maybe one area where I use the sword. But aside from that, I like to jump and just throw bombs constantly. And sometimes I play a little slower and more carefully, because remember, this was my first time playing the game after, many years. So I was just, I watched the video, but I didn't study it, so I was just kind of going off of, reaction. And I had some deaths. That's why it took me 19 minutes or so, because it's a short game if you don't die. You can beat it in 9 minutes like the Ripper did, but that's a speed run. That's, realistically maybe 13 minutes like I did. It's more of a realistic time, but it's not a long game. But yeah, you keep jumping and throwing out those bombs. It really clears a lot of shit out. You want to take out those guys with the Raiden hats, with the bows that they spin. They can kill you in one hit, I think. So you want to try to get them out of there. The ninjas are less of a threat, but it's good to kill them. I think you can touch enemy bodies in this game most of the time. You just can't. You can't get hit by like their swords or by whatever their attack is. Some enemies, their attack may be like their mouth, like those little dragons. So you may not be able to touch those at all. But you learn what you can and can't touch. This boss is extremely easy. You know, you line up your clones if you have them, and just, you know, bomb the shit out of them, and it'll be dead in a few seconds. And of course, if you know, get certain checkpoints, you may get to the bosses with, you know, less weapons and shit like that, but they tend to be very easy regardless. If you use the bombs are super overpowered. If you use the bombs, you know, even if you're not powered up, you can pretty much kill any boss like really fast. Now in this part, you just want to avoid those purple guys with the grappling hook type weapon, because those are the only enemies that can one-hit kill you. So, you know, everyone else you can kind of ignore if you want. But you see how I played that. I just played it kind of carefully. I took those guys out. I jumped as needed. I didn't bother, like, running around on the top of the level. That makes things harder. Here I keep it real simple. I just use the sword, and I stab down when those guys on the upper layer get too close. That clears them out pretty well. So I just turn left and right and slash, and I stab down for the upper guys. And that's all I do. I just react to it as I see it. And I never moved from that platform, and I was pretty much able to beat this section without taking a hit. The only reason I took a hit at the end was because I thought I could just keep walking and end this section, but you have to like jump down, then you walk right. So that was the reason for me getting hit there. But aside from that, this technique works to take no damage. So keep that in mind. I shouldn't have been fucking around delaying so much in the beginning of this, because you do get crushed easily, but I was trying to see what weapon. I wanted to have my bombs ready, which I should have just done that when I got to the boss, but I still was able to make it through. I even wasted some time going back to get a power-up, which is not really, you know, a good idea in this area. You do get crushed quickly. The bombs here really destroy these guys. You got to watch out. I think they can crush you sometimes. It's a weird fight. The idea is to take out all those little orange glowing knobs. There's 4 on each block. You have to take out each one. Great thing about the bombs is they have major splash damage. So when you're throwing them out rapidly, you're hitting everything at once. So it kills it real fast. Now this part's just a little bit tricky because the jumping in this game kind of sucks when it comes to platforming. You have this, when you're falling back down, you have a very narrow movement, very slow movement. So you have to be like right at the edge to get on these platforms, as you see me doing. You really cannot move in a wide, you cannot make wide jumps at all. So you have to be like right at the edges. So that's the main thing to keep in mind. You're going to see how much this jumping fucking sucks at the area right before the last boss. It's pretty much part of the game that kind of ruins the game in a sense. I mean, I love this fucking game, but it's kind of like a game ruining section because it's really fucking shitty. If you don't know the safe spot, you could spend a lot of fucking time trying to fall through those ninjas and get to the end. And it's because of bad falling control and just the enemies coming up too fast. It's just a very badly designed area, in my opinion. The Ripper agrees with me. He thinks it's pretty fucking disgusting as well. Yeah, same shit on all these bosses, pretty much. I mean, just throw your fucking bombs out and kill it'll kill everything, pretty much. You only have to damage, I think, the center guy on that kite, but if you're throwing the bombs, it's going to hit everything, so it's fucking easy. Like I said, the only hard part coming up is going to be that fucking pit, but just watch the video and see the safe spot that I find. I'll point it out. You'll be able to see it. This video really didn't need a commentary tutorial, but you know, I was like, fuck it, it's only a 13-minute long game, so I'll just bang it out, get a commentary version up. I'll always have the original versions up as well, so, you know, if you don't want to hear my fucking voice, my disgusting fucking voice, then you can check the other video. But yeah, same type of shit here. I mean, you want to get rid of those Raiden type guys with the spinning bows. They're like one-hit killers. You know, it's the same type of shit. I had to redo this level, the first checkpoint in the level, and the previous level because I accidentally hit something on the controller that reset the game. I guess if you hold select and start or something. I don't know what happened. But somehow I reset it, so then I think I actually beat this without even dying this section when I redid it again, because I pretty much knew what I had to do. Here's the safe spot, just on top of this rock, right in the center of this rock. And just stay there. I don't know if you even have to crouch down, but that's what I saw when the Ripper did it, so I just did it that way. You do not even really have to... I don't even think you have to fight these enemies if you don't want to. It's pretty much a 45-second cutscene once you get in this safe spot. You know, it's just like it'll end after 45 seconds, so I think that's what it is. But yeah, I did have to waste some time replaying a little bit of the game. It's good I found the stage select code, so I was able to select back to near where I was. I didn't realize what stage number it was, but I just did the previous stage, and then I redid the previous stage, and then I, you know, redid the first checkpoint in this level. So, you know, wasted a little bit of my time, but it took me about 19 minutes of actual gameplay, not counting that bullshit, to beat it after watching that video. Yeah, the poisonous gas can, I think it might, I don't think the poisonous gas one hit kills you. On this mode, of course. But it damages you, so, you know, you got to be careful. That's the main thing you're going to be dodging. But this part's very easy. What's coming up next can be really fucking disgusting if you don't follow what I show you in the video with the safe spot. I mean, if you want to torture yourself, then, you know, beware of spoilers. But, I recommend doing it this way. Yeah, see, that's the safe spot. So you start falling to the left. You just have to maneuver your way into that spot and just stay there. Don't fucking move. And if you do that, you will beat it. If you don't do that, any one of those ninjas will basically kill you in one hit. And you turn super fucking slow. It's really disgusting. It's insanely difficult if you don't do it right. And for this part, you just, you know, see, I have no power-ups. So you don't need the power-ups. I just throw out the bombs. I don't even dodge anything. It's a fucking joke with the bombs. The bombs are ridiculous. If you play arcade mode, then, you know, you will have to be dodging some more shit. But I'm just showing, you know, I'm just showing the game through on PC Engine mode. If I want to do something like arcade mode again, I'll just play the fucking arcade version, which I think is a lot harder than the arcade mode in this. Like I said, and I'll do a playthrough of that again. The only reason I'm hesitant to do a playthrough of the arcade mode again, because this, well, I never recorded it, so that's why I'd do it again, because I didn't have recording abilities back then. But the thing that makes me hesitant about doing it is that fucking pit, because that pit in the arcade is really fucking disgusting. I mean, I don't remember being able to find any safe spot at all. So it was fucking brutal, man, because it goes on for a long time when you don't know what's coming up. I mean, you die instantly. It'll fucking, you know, it was driving me fucking insane. It's probably one of the most disgusting parts I played in one of these kind of games. I mean, it's really nasty, man. It's a shitty fucking part. But yeah, so luckily you can make it easy in this game. Just, you know, follow what I did and you'll be good to go. And just check that speedrun by the Ripper if you want to see some great fucking playing. It's a lot better than mine. He also did one recently of Legend of Hero Tanma for TurboGrafx, which is a great run. That's another game that can be brutal in the fucking arcade that I beat a while back. I mean, I would like to record it, but I don't necessarily want to have to play through it again. It had some really fucking hard parts. But, you know, I may redo some brutal games at some point. I'm trying to beat some new games now. I have Bucky O'Hare coming up for NES. I'm almost done with the, you know, with the regular mode on it. It's actually a hard mode that has a password that's one-hit deaths. But I'm almost beating it on normal now, so I'm going to probably post that up soon with commentary. Thanks for watching.